Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Massive Bass 96 coming back with a brand new video. I'm going to be doing another video of just me talking about how to wire up a 75 amp PowerMax power supply up to inside your house to run your amp. Alright, so I'm going to take you step by step on how to run it inside your house. Make sure you have the PowerMax power supply unplugged at all times. If you have it plugged in and you are hooking wires up and say the positive and the ground touch, that is a big no. That will start a fire. Make sure you have your power supply unplugged at all times, and that is like the safest thing to do. Make sure it's unplugged. Okay, so pretty much I am going to tell you which one's positive and which one's negative. I'll let it autofocus, and yeah. So pretty much, here, let me put this down real quick. Pretty much you are going to see that this is your positive. So pretty much always it'll tell you which one is your positive, like that, and it'll tell you which one's your negative, like that. Sometimes the power supply will show you the colors. It would be red on one half, black on the other half. So positive, ground. And then this little guy right here, it is I don't know what it is. I think it's like a remote or something, or like ground, like a instant ground or something like that. I don't know yet, but I just run it like this. Make sure make sure you test everything when you make sure the power supply turns on before you plug these in to make sure everything works. The power supply turns on, and then unplug it again, and then you get everything hooked up. Make sure you do your research of the 75 amp PowerMax power supply. Pretty much it'll tell you, hold on, let it focus. Here we go. The model is PM4-75LK. Input 105-1130 VAC. Output 13.6 VDC. 75 amps. And then over here, it'll say tested to comply with FCC standards power converter. And pretty much that's pretty much what you're going to have to notice. Make sure you read the warning and all that. And then make sure again you have the power supply turned off. And it depends on what size. So pretty much this size, it recommends 4 gauge power and ground wire. You could run 8 gauge, you could run 4 gauge. It depends on what amplifier you have or what you're going to use it for. A lot of people use this power supply for an RV. Pretty much that's why they're called. Well, pretty much when I looked up PowerMax power supply, that's what it was. It was there's a lot of videos of these power supplies running for RVs to replace older power supplies that stopped working or died. A lot of people say these power supplies are one of the best. And yeah, they are. They're really well. These power supplies are built really, really well. I don't know if you could see the inner guts, but you could see kind of it, a little bit of it. Alright, so we are going to go down to here. Make sure you run your positive to positive, so power to power, ground to ground, and system control is your remote. The remote tells your amp to turn on, when to turn on and off for the head unit. So when the head unit turns on, it'll tell the amplifier to turn on with the head unit. If you're running this inside your house, what you could do is you could run a jumper. You could run a little jump remote wire to the system control remote over to the power. Don't run it to the ground. I don't know what would happen. I think that's a bad idea if you do that. If you do that, that's on your own risk. But make sure you run the system control remote wire over to, so like say like that. So pretty much like that. So do it as a little jumper. But I have this running for my CT Sounds universal bass knob, which tells the amp to turn on and off manually. So pretty much I have full control of this amp to turn on and off when the power supply is on. The other thing is too, with the power supply, pretty much it will say 3-stage mode and fixed output. The fixed output sticker part came off, so 3-stage mode is like a 3-stage to where it charges a battery, keeps a battery fully charged constant. It'll sense when the battery is almost fully charged. It has 3-stage, so it has a high stage charging mode, mid stage charging mode, and then a low stage charging mode where it's like fast, medium, slow. And then but to run this in a room or in a house or whatever, make sure you have it on fixed output. The other thing is too, with this is your voltage adjuster. The highest goes 16.5, the lowest is 13 volts. I have this set to 14.7 because that is the healthiest. The amp recommends 14.4, but 14.7 it's really fine. It depends on what size amp you have. If you have a big amp, I would look it up, see what the amp voltage recommends, and just go by there and make sure you turn the voltage up to where you like it and at your own risk. The reason why is because I'm running this big huge 12, so 14.7 because the sub requires lots of power. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions on how you want this thing, how to hook it up, let me know in the comments. And yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. And yeah, stay safe and do this at your own risk. And once you have this hooked up, it'll sound really good, and it'll be way better to run a car amp in your room instead of a home subwoofer with a built-in amp. Definitely car subwoofer with a car amp inside your room is a big difference. It sounds really good. It'll make everything sound way 10 times better, like movies, games, and music. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe more to my YouTube channel, and yeah.